Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Cyndi Lauper is retiring from touring. She's doing her Girls Just Want to Have Fun farewell tour, and I'm catching all sorts of feelings about it. Cyndi was really the first music diva I fell in love with, pop star I fell in love with. I remember hearing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, falling in love with it, and I was just running around singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and basically outing myself as a kid without realising it. And I mean, I fell in love with her before Madonna. I think I confused songs like All Through the Night and Lucky Star, and I sort of thought they were the same girl, I think, for a minute there. And then later, Like a Prayer and Turn Back Time, I fell in love with Cher and Madonna, and Bette Midler with Wind Beneath My Wings and stuff like that. But first was Cyndi. And also Cyndi, I've had my closest sort of contact with in a concert where I was seeing her at this theatre in St Kilda, because she would often do the smaller theatre. She didn't do the big sort of commercial sort of venues you normally get the concerts at. She would usually do smaller venues because she was more concerned with doing the music she wanted to do rather than doing the stuff that would sell big and. So I went there, and she was on the stage. I was fairly close to the front, but she still was kind of far away, and I was sort of trying to zoom in and get good photos, and I noticed the security guard was looking at me. And it turned out to be the same security guard that did security for Patrick Stewart when I saw him at a convention years later. So I recognised him, but he kept looking at me. I'm like, what am I doing? And I was like the only guy in that front section. I think it was all women. And then Cyndi came off the stage, and she came up the aisle, and I sort of was trying to get some pictures of her, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then she actually came down my aisle, and she put her hand out, and I took her hand, and then what she wanted me to do was to help her up onto the back of one of the theatre chairs, so she could stand and sing up to the balcony behind us. So she did that, and I spent the whole time standing like this with my hands just behind her back, so I was so scared she was going to fall and it'd be my fault. And I guess I was the only guy there. Obviously I'm not a big butch guy or anything, but I was the only one, I think. So that's why they picked me to help her up there. But it just was really amazing to take her hand and help her up onto the chair and just sort of help her do the number and that. And I know there's some photos, people took photos of looking down at her, singing up to them, and I'm in the photo. I've always wanted to see one of them, I've never found one. And it was just amazing. And then, I helped her back down, and she went out, and she was still singing the song when she left. So I didn't get to actually speak to her or anything. So it's weird that I was that close to her, but never actually spoke to her. It was just really amazing. And it was really fun. I remember she was saying to the people audience, if you want to stand up and someone behind you, gets upset, you just tell them Cyndi said you could. So, of course, later in the show, me and these girls that were outside us were all standing up singing, and the person behind us said something, and we all turned around, all three of us said, Cyndi said we could. It was just a really fun concert, and it just kills me that there was no program for that, because she didn't have a lot of merchandise and stuff like that. It was just a really great experience. I just remember being a little kid, seeing the video and being really inspired by her, and seeing that she was really different, and feeling like that she was one of my people when I was one of hers, and she was singing to me. And I remember one of the comics I had this ad for Cyndi Lauper, and she was a picture of her performing. I just remember staring at that and thinking she was so unusual. And I just really love her, and it's just really sad, the idea that she's not going to be touring anymore. I know she's not retiring, she's going to be still making music and performing, but she's not going to be doing world tours, so the chance of me ever seeing her again is pretty unlikely. And I really regret when she was here for Kinky Boots. She was there for the premiere of that, and I was going to go just to see if I could see her, and I didn't end up going. And what happened was a friend of mine went, and his friend cancelled. He had a free ticket. Had I met up with him, I probably would have got his ticket. I probably would have went in and saw the show, and he got to meet her and got photos with her. So I really, really regret not doing that, because often I've just gone to something with no plans, just to see what would happen, and amazing stuff happens. And I should have known, so I really regret that one as well. But I'm just kind of sad she's retiring, but really glad that she's been here this whole time, and she's been such an ally. I don't understand how I've had to explain to friends the meaning behind True Colours, and that she wrote it about her friend who died from AIDS and all of this. And she's always been an ally. She's always supported people who are different. She's always been about diversity, even when it hurt her career. And I just love her for that, and I'm always going to love her. And I just hope she has a really great tour and everyone has fun, because girls just want to have fun.